to have him, that when she had him, she could not look at him, meaning she was not allowed to even look at him. And they took him away. At the same time of his birth, 4 horsemen went north, south, east, and west to proclaim the birth of the king. Right? I'm talking now how the people in the province, right? Project it. And they call that area their Bethlehem. Right? So the idea or the conceptualization of how things happen and what you pick up hierarchically of who this personality is and what you address it as is coming through the consciousness. It's not coming because we were not taught all this information about who is or whatever it is. Right, came through the Akashic consciousness, right? And identify him as the Godhead, right? So when that person came 2 days ago and made that revelation, because they want, our idea was that we would be twinning Pinnacle as the birth with Ijers of Goro as the birth of Rastafari and the birth and that has been on the table.
Yeah, I would go in that too.
Right. And so I'm just saying that our in even listening to you and about the sabbatical order and being able to galvanize, because we couldn't have any place. I mean, when His Imperial Majesty came here in 1966 and the beginning of the church, whatever that experience was, from 1930, we have been under subjection about wherever we gather. So if you gather, you cannot figure out what you're going to do with your day, because your gathering is about protecting yourself to move. So we have to deal with ourselves intellectually, and that intellectual liberty would not accord for these particular, roots, right? So our root is Ethiopia. We are sure of that. Anything else, we are bobbing and weaving. So I'm saying, in respect of the Christian faith and in respect of His Imperial Majesty, when you use words to say who he is or how he is or whatever, it would be best to leave that to another dimension, because we are imbued with so much different ways of coming to that we can't. While we respect certain information, how it comes is the Godhead, right? And other things we know, add up to it, or little things will come from it. So our respect is beyond his Christian leadership, because our respect is like the Ethiopian people.
Even more.
Or even more, because of our liberty and tribulation. We have to go higher in the consciousness and in the cosmic and bring it home. So that respect is what we know is the world has now accepted, because that is how gods are made. You understand what I'm saying? That God was made and imposed on us. God, gods come out of culture. They don't. You understand what I'm saying? And our responsibility was to create ours, because ours naturally was taken away. So our work as people was to recreate ours without no help except from the Akashic consciousness to bring forward. And the world has accepted that, and now we don't know what is going to happen to this culture when it gets rooted. You understand what I'm saying? Like another explosion beyond what people might think about. Imagine, may happen. So I agree with what you're saying in principle. If we had been allowed to take root, what the direction of this country would have been.
All right. Sister Maxine, and for the records, the historical records say that Paul Bogle have 503 acres of land. Undisputed. Right? That is what the historical record says. That the property Paul Bogle owned at Stowe is 503 acres of land. Back in those days, when a man tell you he has 503 acres of land, it could be 5,000 of land. Because my grandfather told me that it's actually 3,000 acres of land. But I never really get into much land discussion. But the important thing is that it is documented as 5,503 acres of land. I am saying to this meeting this morning, you are standing on Paul Bogle property.
Right.
As the great grandson, I am saying that this part of the property will be donated to Rasta for Rasta cause. And that we are saying. So we can move on. You understand? Because we have historical data to prove that the property extend from round, so come all the way back over here, so. No, I don't have the title. The land, every inch of that land was taken away from us.
Right.
But how long you can take away it for? Because the information is there. So there is no way. There is no way, and I can tell you one thing I know. I have 3 sons. I have a little 3-year-old son and 2 grown men. And one thing I can tell you, anything I say, my 2 sons will never step over me. I don't know about the little man that is coming. So right we have to have somewhere. So I am, because I see the work of Rasta, and I can tell you. I remember Rasta tell me a thing when I eat it. I tell a man, say, I eat him. And a Rasta man called me and said to me, I'm going to go to him and say, you cannot eat a man that God created. You must eat in ways.
Yes. True. So true.
You hear me say? Rasta man is the only man ever tell I that. You cannot eat the creation of Almighty God. Whether the man white, pink, purple or blue. You eat the ways of a human being. Rasta teach me that. My strength when me left Jamaica and travel is, my father was a policeman, so me grew up as policeman pick me and get beaten as policeman pick me. But me always maintain a certain relationship from a boy with Rasta, because there was always something about Rasta that captures me and I want to know about Rasta. So the days where them a push Rasta yes and push Rasta this, we have said that part of it. We go and look, Sister Maxine, and as early as next week we can get into that. We can set up a meeting and we go and look into ownership. Who is in ownership of the land?
Well, he is, you know.
Okay.
He's
well,
yeah, that's
you have
why
a title?
Yes.
Brother? Well, we don't have a problem.
No, there's no problem here.
Okay, but things that there was a problem.
No, there's a problem with every other Rasta land. That's what we're saying, that this is making a difference. That's what we're trying to say.
Okay.
Every other Rasta land have a problem.
You should make that know a long time,
But I
man.
was trying to get there. But I like your 503 acre because I'm interested in going further. So on top of the 4 acres that we properly have here, 4.5. And the Brother Martin has another 4 and another 84 that he has in his dispensation garden, right? But again, we are saying that as a principle, that's why I said the importance of this center and the launch and the coming together is historic, because the first land that Rasta ever have now to launch something that don't have those type of barrier.
I never get a part of the street.
Okay. Any ganja that you see growing here is Rasta ganja. No other type of situation. So that is precise. What we want now is the road, and what comes with the road is the life and water and life. And the brethren here was telling me that there's another road going up to Spring Garden, down there, that would be also of assistance to move this thing. Yeah?
So what you really want to do now is to encourage the spiritual, intellectual work that you have, that it really contributes, Rasta contributes to, as something that other people, if necessary, as well as Rasta, can appreciate and recognize. I mean that.
This one and
because even the IOJ, as you say.
No, yeah, one go back to
problem with the IOJ was this. Because of the culture and what happened here, the first place an exhibit would occur is Washington, D.C. Smithsonian.
Yes.
You understand? That is a part, that is where it happened.
Yes.
We agitate now for it to come here
Yes.
to Pinnacle. Because the same time we started with the Pinnacle, we said, well, Pinnacle would be the natural home now to build a cultural center and bring this exhibit now to permanent home.
Yes.
Because of the Zoom, you know, haul and pulling, and we never got to meet with the government for 6 years. It's the Honorable Bonnie Whaler that gave us a meeting with the Honorable Portia Simpson to articulate this. We were just always dealing with TPD or whatever, but could never have this national conversation, right? So the IOJ exhibit was to come here to spark the development of a center. So when they started to talk about going to Montego Bay and putting it in a building somewhere, we started to have loggerheads because we said, no, it's a living culture. It's supposed to go to a space that allows
Sister,
development.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm
You know?
going to declare I am the Jew that put the Jewish exhibition at the Center for Judaism in Jamaica, synagogue on Duke Street.
Right.
And it's here now. You're never going nowhere else.
Exactly.
You can go there, anybody, Jew, non-Jew, can go there anytime and appreciate it.
Right.
And what you're saying is the same argument I hold for all our cultures. In the Maroon communities in Blue Mountains, I hope that we will see the same expression of their culture being recognized in those areas. So
right, because it is important though, because we're just coming from Brazil.
Right.
Right, and we were celebrating the king, I forgot what his name, but it's the Maroon King for Brazil, right?
There's a big Maroon community.
Big Maroon community there. So what we want to be clear, the word Maroon is the African, Nigerian, Ghanaian personality. Maroon, we cannot be lost in that name. We have to put it in a particular place, because if you don't put it in a particular place, you're not going to encourage the Maroons to develop a culture, because their culture is the Ghanaian, Ashanti, whatever it is that is, you understand what I'm saying? So this word Maroon must be articulated better to allow the culture that is the Maroon, which is the African, Ashanti, or Igbo, or Nigerian, so that when they start to wear clothes or develop institutions in their communities, it takes on an African-ness. That is my problem with the Maroons and the name Maroon. And going to Brazil, I saw they have Maroon, but the Maroon doesn't dominate the Africanness, you know, and the cultural expression. So when I go to Moortown or these places, I don't get that sense of Africanness. The only thing is they say the jerk, or you do a little this or you do a little that. So I'm very concerned. I mean, I'm just articulating it now, that the Maroon word is an adjective for the African who remained free for whatever reason, came here free, fought to be free, whatever. But they must now be able to articulate and be encouraged to articulate.
That's what I'm hoping, that we will
we'll
be able to encourage
them.
Particularly if we become, that area becomes a World Heritage Site. But there's another aspect of the Maroon, which is, I think, not many people are aware, that they are aware also our previous ancestors, the Tainos, mixed with them. And part of the Maroon culture is also conditioned by the Taino culture.
Exactly,
So
and
it
they are
is
not
really quite a
even
very interesting situation which needs to be
restored.
restored and encouraged.
Right, because
Retained and encouraged.
because especially in Jamaica, because in other islands we went to St. Vincent,
Yes.
where you have the Carib or you
Black
have
Caribs, yes.
you have them there to defend their culture.
Yes.
We have to actually defend now the Taino culture
Yes.
because of how the genocide that happened here. So our responsibility in articulating our culture as Rasta is to, for all of these communities, to not be taking these names, but to pull the African and the Indigenous and then make the place look more flourishing, rather than you go up there, you see pure Seventh-day Adventist church and
Yeah, man.
it's like, what is a maroon? You know what I mean?
Fine, he's with me. I took him to the country.
So we'd like to just show everyone the tabernacle that's up the road, and then